Hey guys, Dib the Awesome here to give you a little bit of a guide and or tips video for relics. So in this game, you may craft like pretty much any relic except for exclusive stuff that may be craftable in the future, like this one for example is uncraftable. It's called the Nebulion's Trap. It's after being hit, if your life is below 50%, it removes 180 stamina from all enemies. This is basically Oblation Trap. This is exactly like that. I don't really get why this is a thing, but it is. It doesn't do anything else. But that's garbage. It's a garbage trap because that's basically this trap. Yeah, it's 100% like that. It even has the same procs. Why does this exist? This is this garbage. Anyway, you guys didn't come here to hear me say that this was garbage, but you did hear to say. I guess you did hear. You did hear. You didn't hear. You came here to hear what I think is good, what I think is bad, or you just want tips and all that good stuff. So I think the best relics to craft in this game, in short, in order to really craft let's talk about that first. In order to really craft a diamond relic, you need four actual diamond relics. So let's say you get really unlucky, you just get a bunch of garbage. Have no fear, you are guaranteed one good crafting. You can take all that crap and turn it into something that's actually usable. So let's say you just got a bunch of, swords. Let's say you just got a bunch of these that don't do you really any good. Because even when they're maxed out, they're not as good scaling as, defensive items. Because oddly enough, the relics that do damage, except for like the traps do, I think, the same amount, I want to say. If not, like, it's still like smaller than actual shield protection. But it's better than swords, which were designed to deal damage. See, even at max rank, this is a really good sword, for example, that deals, 12k. It doesn't actually deal as much as this trap here, this Taiga Trap. This deals way more damage maxed out. It's crazy. And it even has more procs. It's crazy, right? So that being said, you could take those four and then make them something good. And preferably, what I highly recommend you do in terms of legendary, we're just talking about legendary stuff first, because this is the best stuff. This is the great exclusive stuff. I highly recommend you focus on defensive relics and relics that either give you sustain or stamina recovery. So basically, anything that keeps your monsters from dying is the best way to go, not things that just increase your power or just deal a little bit extra damage if they're, above 50% or whatever. The scaling is not equal to defensive relics, and I think that's kind of stupid. Like, I don't know if that's just like, oh, well, like high tier play, high level relics. Well, but if the scaling was really high, then they would be busted with your high runes and stuff. Well, that's not true. Because even with high runes, like, things are still living with their tenacity, like maxed out tenacity shields. So I find the scaling really bad in terms of the damage outputs. Which is why I recommend you get defensive relics. And some defensive relics even have damage built into them, like Hiroim Shield. At maxed out, realistically speaking, you'll never max out your relics unless you for sure grind relics forever. You never miss like a relic event. You farm chests every single day. Eventually you'll get it maxed out. But at maxed out, this does 20k, and anything, any sword relic for the most part does like 12k. And it also gives you protection. So I will say things that do damage plus protection, really nice. But things that give you team protection, we're talking the God Shield. We're talking God Shield right now. One of the best relics in the game, Tenacity Shields, my boys and gals. This is a godsend item. If you want something to for sure get that's good, Tenacity Shield. Tenacity Shield, my boys and gals, is the way to go. Stacking these, like, you can stack the relics in this game, so if you have like a bunch of tenacities, especially maxed out, that's a lot of protection. It's crazy. I think I've had mine around like 28, to 28 to 30. If you have multiple Tenacity Shields, this obviously stacks up. Ideally, if you max them all out, that's pretty busted. But yeah, I think that's what you should kind of prioritize. Maybe first or second. It depends. I'm going to say it depends if you got the Cain of Atlantis. I think this is a really nice stamina recovery item. You're realizing later in high-tier competitive play, a lot of monsters drain stamina or activate your cooldowns because a lot of high-tier monsters nowadays are just immune to everything. like they have like status resistance. They have like your complete immunities to freeze. Some even have like total control immunity. Like they just can't be stopped. Like Artifact, for example. Anything with Artifact, you cannot DOT it, you cannot freeze it, you cannot stop time it, you can't do anything to it. It can't receive any goodies either, but it's immune to everything in the game, which is kind of the price to pay in exchange to just being immune to any negative effect. You are also immune to any positive thing about you. And that's really nice. I think that's a fair trade-off. That's a good example of balancing. But you'll realize that people will tend to, more often than not, cooldowns activate you and drain your stamina, which isn't too ideal. So this is a good, item. But I guess, again, Tenacity Shield, you want to stock up on these. Stock up, just hoard all of them. And when you get a whole bunch of diamond relics or just stuff you don't need, farm them into this. Get an Uriel's Essence too, like one. All you really need is one, maybe two. But Uriel Essence is also a really nice one. I will say this is really generous of them to have allowed to be able to craft a Uriel's Essence and Tenacity Shield. And I think you can craft Ingvar's Banner. Yeah, you can. So that's also a really nice one. Ingvar's Banner is also really nice. This gives you life and stamina, so I think this is the better one. If you were like Dip, should I prioritize this first or this first? Pick up Ingvar's Banner, because this has got really, really nice recovery. And a really nice Team War monster, if you're really free to play, get yourself an Uriel, my boys and gals. Rank up Uriel. Uriel's really, really nice. Ever since the introduction of relics, he can hold double banner, which is a really, really rare thing for monsters to have. And banners have really, really nice utilities in terms of stamina recovery, and thanks to the legendary status stuff, healing. Really, really nice. There's even a banner that increases your life cap permanently. Crazy, insanely good. That's so awesome. I don't have the banner yet, but the banner is called Talika's banner, and it gives you 40k maxed out. Imagine running double, dude. Dude, imagine running double of these with a Babari and a Megaton. You are immune to all DOTs unless they have trait disable, which they probably are. But that's a lot of max life. That's insanely a lot. I think that's at least an extra. It has to be. That's crazy, insanely good. Very, very nice. But now, since we're done talking about, these relics, basically get sustain relics. They're really, really nice. You can even craft Nibada's Armor. Also really nice. Good self-sustain, healing plus stamina. What are good, legendary dip. Really good non-legendary relics. I don't recommend you craft any of these. You don't have to craft them to get them. Just play the game. You'll get them at some point through the chest. You'll more than likely get them as long as you just play the game. Bronze chest, PvP rewards. You'll eventually get a gold relic. They appear way more often than diamonds, trust me. Things you will want to keep are the things that drain stamina. Oblation Trap example, removes all stamina once the thing that's wearing it hits below 50%. This is an absurd amount of stamina. Like it's crazy. You could even probably get away with maybe one or two on your team, and you'll just drain the enemy's stamina for 2 turns if they don't have a recovery item. If you burn through the enemy's recovery resources, and they still haven't procced your Oblation Trap, that's really huge in a game. That matters. You are down for such a long period of time if the enemies, if they run out of their stamina relics and you still have your Oblation Traps, that's huge. That makes a big deal of the game. This is why kind of Dunra is really powerful. It's a really good mega taunt monster due to the fact it can hold one of these, and it kind of keeps your monster safe. It kind of keeps your monsters the ability to drain the enemy's stamina, have them waste their stamina recovery procs, and then eventually the Dunraw's Oblation Traps go off, and then boom. It's really nice, really good consistency. Another really good, relic for, just like universal use that's not a diamond. That is universal to everyone. Everyone has these. Anything like below diamond, like basically gold, silver, and bronze, everyone has access to. These are items that everyone basically has. Diamonds are really hard to come by, but you'll eventually get them at some point as long as you play Team Wars and stuff like that. You're guaranteed one at some point. You just gotta play the game. Yeah, it's like gold mask. Oh my god, healing mask, dude. Like this is really nice because the scaling on this, for whatever reason, it's like 50k max. It's insanely high for self healing. Whatever reason they did to make this a basic utility it's beyond my recognition or my thought process. I don't understand why this is a gold item. You will see these a lot on Zyrons. The healing masks is really nice for self-sustain again. It doesn't heal your team, but even if like a sustained relic doesn't heal everyone or just focuses on that one person, that focus healing is so high, so good. And there are so many monsters that are tanks that can run these. It's crazy. This stacks well with their passive healing effects if they have lifesteal or regen. It's just crazy good. Even on a denier like Zyron, it's just dumb. You know how Zyron's like a denier, so the life cap isn't supposed to be that good. Well, realistically speaking, she has several life bars with this. It procs twice. It procs twice. It's crazy good. Recharge banner is also a really nice one. Or charging banner. For whatever reason, this is kind of like the same as Oblation Trap. However, it's better because it gets one more proc, and I'm pretty sure the recovery scaling is kind of the same. So it's a good anti-measure it's a good counter for Oblivion Traps or anything that drains stamina. Staves are also a really good option in both because staffs are basically stamina recovery and draining. They're the yin-yang relic. So basically, if you want to counter a staff, just run the appropriate staff. However, I find that just running recovery staff is just better. I don't really like running draining staffs. For example, Oblation Trap is only like staff is only like one prac. That's kind of garbage because a lot of relics have more than two. You even started charging banner having 3. This is a waste of a slot in my opinion. Just run Cain of Atlantis. I think it's way better in terms of recovering stamina rather than just draining it. Unless we're talking about like Avenging Staff, which is random procs. I don't know if it has more than one proc, but it's a random, which is better than the gold staff that is called the Revenge Staff, which only focuses on the person that hits you. And I think it has 2 procs. However, once the person hits you, they're kind of done with stamina anyway. It's basically, well, not done with their stamina, but basically they've just did their turn. They've already done something to you. So it's more beneficial to hit someone that's not already hit, if you get what I'm saying. Even though I never really use Avenging Staff as much, it's better than actual Revenge Staff. What else is there that's really nice and clean? For gold, I think Heavy Duty Plate is worth mentioning. I think this is one of the better gold relics for sure. Again, in terms it's like self-sustaining relics is really nice in terms of the gold tier category, because in terms of team utility in the gold tier, it's garbage. It really, really is. There's not really any good gold, just like health sustain, shielding, protection. Legendary is where it's at. But in terms of self-sustain, it's very, very good. It excels a lot at self-sustain. Because you get access to heavy-duty armor, healing mask, and I think there was another one. Like Healing Amulet, yeah, yeah, that's also really nice. Heavy Duty has 2 procs, so basically maxed out it's 60k per armor slot, and everyone can hold up to 2 relics. The relics vary per monster, but some monsters can actually hold double, chest plate, which equals 120k, points of armor protection. That's really good. So any self-sustaining relics in terms of gold is really nice. There is a area healing potion in gold. However, I find that it often misses the timing, because you will either have that monster will not be below 50%. This only procs when the wearer is below 50%. And if the wearer is not below 50%, which I find a lot of the time is the case, it's the person that needs the healing dies. And you kind of lose a coin because you decided to run the thing on something that's not even close to dying. So I always find that this misses the timing. However, it is really, really nice, because regardless of what the other two are at, they just get healed. The silver one, which I use a lot, which is really good, can actually miss if the allies aren't below 50%. It only procs on the people that are below 50%. And so if that person isn't below 50 by the time it procs, they don't get the heal. They might be under DOTs, which could kill them. So there's that. What else is there? Ice-breaking greatsword. Oh, this is a good one. Ice-breaking greatsword's also good. It's basically heavy duty, but it only procs when you hit people with stun or freeze, so just take note of that. Still a fantastic defensive item. There are plenty of attackers in this game that love the boost. Plenty of deniers that do stunning or freezing that love this, that love the protection. It's great. Silver relics, same kind of dealio here, except they have really nice team recovery. Like, this is kind of like a weaker team focus thing. Silvers are basically weak diamonds in terms of what you should be running for options. I'd say the Healing Essence, the Energizer Staffs, which is basically weaker Cain of Atlantis. This is 100% like that. It's a weaker Cain of Atlantis. And then Pestilence. Oh god. Okay, so you can actually, fun fact, you can actually get OTK'd if you run like full pesties, like full Pestilence traps. Like, every single monster on your team has to run Pestilence in order for this to work. But if you run a full team of Pestilent monsters, like full team of monsters that can all double trap, and you're running this, low-key, that's disgusting, dudes. Low-key, that's like pro strat right there. Completely taking everyone's life. This takes maximum life from the enemy's monsters for 2 turns. It has 1 use. It doesn't really matter if it had multiple. If it had multiple users, that'd be bad. But like, in terms of the your enemy's sanity, but this takes away max life. It's so if you go over their max life with this, you actually kill them. I actually was in a game where I had like 100 HP. It's like, holy tamale, what happened to all my HP? That happened. Pestilence Trap. I almost lost the game because I was kind of tilting. It's like, I won that game, but I almost died just because of the start of the game. It's crazy. So you gotta always watch out for this. These bases are very rare nowadays, but they can get like, oh, well, shit, I brought like a squishy to the fight, and they went over my HP with it. So this is actually really good for OTKs. It's really, really nice for those kind of situations. So it's a good item to invest in. I have quite a few. I've stocked up on them. Do I have any of them leveled up? No, because I kind of want to level up my diamonds. None of the see these things that increases your stats. These are all garbage. Don't run them. It's not enough. It's just not good. Max life is like, oh hey, but that's kind of like an extra life, and it's not worth it. It's for 1 turn. It's garbage. Don't run it. Damage relics, just don't run damage relics. Do yourself a favor. If it's not a diamond relic, just don't run a damage. Like, if it's a damage, in terms of if you want to run a damage relic, just run like things that give you more than just damage. Those are just better, in my opinion, because you kind of, it's like there's no point. Like, realistically speaking, damage relics are garbage. I don't like damage relics. They're good in specific situations. Like, some monsters can really, really use the extra damage. Like, we just got a new monster recently called Ugluk, or Ugluk. Ugluk, is it Ugluk? Yeah, Ugluk. Who has pretty much a 90% health draining skill on a Megaton monster, and that extra damage is very helpful at that point. That's the only monster I see worth running that on. But that's the best example I could give. And even then, you have to max out their relic, or at least get it to at least 10k at the very least in terms of damage output to make it worth. Bronze. Okay, so believe it or not, there's actually a few bronze relics that high tier players actually use. It's like, oh, Dib, you think high tier uses the best of the best stuff. Why are they using beginner stuff? Because even some of the items in beginner, like, you look at them like, wait, it does this? Why does it do this? This is amazing. Healing Amulet is one of those monsters, relics. Healing Amulet gives you 20k maxed out. Okay, don't look at mine. Don't look at it. It's not maxed. But once it's maxed, it gets 20k. Amazing, and it has 2 uses, so that's 40k life back. That could matter in a fight. That's pretty huge. So the amulets are pretty good bronze. I think that's it though. I kind of exaggerated that as like more than 2. There's actually just 2. In terms of bronze relics, those are the ones you kind of run. I think Exhausting Trap is kind of gimmicky, but those are the genuine good ones. Those are the ones you run. Amulets in terms of bronze, like, see all these bronze relics, like this, and this is the only competitive relic you'll ever see. These offer really nice self-sustaining. Energizing Amulet is really good on, deniers or things that can help reset up your team again if you get stamina drained, and all that good stuff. Overall, in all honesty, don't ever craft anything that's not diamond, and only use diamond, relics to craft the diamonds. Because if you take a look here, let's say I wanted to craft, a diamond. Boom. Okay, that's 1 relic. 1 relic equals 10 points. All right, 10 points down. Look at all that to go. It's like, that's a lot of points. That's like 24. Dude, you need 24,000 points. And 1 bronze relic is 10. How much is a gold relic, real quick? Because you realize the value of it. It's kind of dumb. The exchange isn't the same. So boom, you get like 600 points for gold relics. 160 for silvers. And then for a diamond relic, if you wanted to craft the diamond relic, I actually can't show you. For whatever reason. I guess I don't have any diamonds to craft. Or use for crafting, I mean. But diamonds is 100, or like 1,200? Was it 1,200? I can't remember. But like four of them make a diamond relic. Just take my word for it. Overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys got any more questions, ask in the comment section below. I'm Dib the Awesome, and I'll catch you guys later.